Alright, so this video is going to be a little different because I'm not doing a get ready with me video. There's just so much that I've waited to kind of talk about and put together that, yeah, I'm just going to skip all that and get to the stuff. I'm kind of glad I waited because there's so much that has been going on, and right now, currently, we're about unfortunately 2 or 3 days past Nipsey Hussle's death recently, and it's just really unfortunate. And man, it's just really unfortunate. It's just like, not only were so many people going through so much stuff, his death kind of just like ignited something else. And that's one of the things I say, is like, there's always something good from bad. I try to stay positive. I'm learning to try to think about death a little bit differently and put that into practice, so that I mean, it's inevitable when the time does come around for somebody who's close to me to pass. If I'm in the moment of death, I want to just be at a point where I can accept it and kind of celebrate it. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot. Something that's been coming up for me lately is I've noticed that I take a lot of things personally. I wouldn't say a lot. I say I take things from people that are really close to me personally. Like, I always kind of put myself in a position to where I think that somebody may be misinterpreting my character or what I'm trying to do. Like, I take all of that personally. Like, if I don't do something right, I feel some type of way about it. So if somebody has something bad to say or to critique or to correct, I kind of just like, I'm learning. I'm in the process of being like, okay, don't take it personal. Like, what am I supposed to get from this? And letting go has just been a big thing for me, because I hold on to it, and I'm one of those people, I overthink so much. So once you say something to me, it's kind of like that just continues to pop up for me. Still, even now, I used to like sit in it and think about it. Now it's more so like, I let it go. Sometimes it comes back up. And so with that, I've had to learn to get to the point where I have to come up with something for me to say, like, when I am aware that I start thinking like that, of like, hold up, take a step back. You don't have to think like that. Like, you really can control your thoughts. It's just being aware and paying attention to when your thoughts start to just kind of drift away from where you are right now. I've been rereading a book, The Power of Now. It's kind of the book that really just, it opened my eyes to what I was going through. Like, he kind of says, it's like, if you read like a book like that and you're open to receiving it and you're in that space to receive it, it'll relate to you. If it's not for you at that time, it'll do nothing for you. So that book did a lot for me, and I'm currently rereading it, and every time I read it, I see something new. This time around, like, I read the whole thing. This time around, I'm going through and I'm highlighting things, and things are standing out for me, and it's pieces of it, that you don't catch before. And every time you read something like that, you're going to take something else from it, and at that moment in your journey, it's going to mean something different. So I'm kind of at a point with my awakening that I'm like going back and forth between conscious and unconscious. Like, I'll just slip. So I'll be doing all right, I'll be in the moment, and then next thing you know, I'll kind of just like float off and do whatever else. But I am at a point right now where I'm kind of like, I feel myself catching it a little bit quicker. And so it's like a muscle. Don't expect to get it right every single day. Be easy on yourself. It's really about practice. It's a skill. Like, you have to build that muscle. The more you keep trying, the stronger you'll be, and it'll just be like second nature for you. So that's something I'm trying to stick to with everything that I do. Even in business right now, trying to figure, well, not even trying to figure out what I want to do, because I've kind of made up my mind. I am doing what I want to do, and at this point it's sticking with it, and that goes for everything. And a lot of the stuff I'm doing, even this right now, it's just I was afraid, and I don't know necessarily of what, or why I was even concerned about what people might perceive of me. And so right now it's all about like sticking with it. Doesn't matter, like put the blinders on and just stick with what you're doing. Have faith that what you're doing is going to happen. And I got a little a story, something that I'm really excited about. Like I manifested my business sale. Is so crazy. So I have this business I told y'all about in the last video, Donna Frames. It's an eyewear brand, and I opened a business account for it. Like I try to be really legit about it. So I opened up a bank account, got all that situated, and then like I opened an account before I even made a sale. So when you open stuff like that, bank accounts, some of them aren't free, so you got to pay for the monthly maintenance. But if I'm not making any sales yet, then what's going there to pay all the maintenance for all of the bills, the website, the organization, taxes, all that type of stuff. I hadn't made a sale yet. I went to the ATM to deposit the money. I was like, because I questioned whether or not, I was like, do I really want to do this? Like, I keep spending money. Like, what if it doesn't happen? And I was starting to doubt myself. And I was like, nope. You do this every time you start doing something. You'll do it for a little bit, then, nothing pops, and you kind of just, like, let it die down. So I was like, I'm going to take this money, and I'm going to put it into the bank. And with this money, I'm going to get a sale. Like, my business is going to be okay. I did that. I want to say, maybe it was February. Yeah, maybe like mid-February. And I tell you, in March, within a month of doing that, I got a sale. I went to this small networking event, actually involved myself in what was going on a little bit, opened myself up, relaxed, talked to people, and actually told them what I was doing. And with one of the conversations that I had with the lady, she went on the website after a few hours of the event and actually purchased something. And so I was just like, I cried. I cried because it was just bigger than like, oh yeah, I got a sale. Like, what I'm doing isn't about business for me. None of what I'm doing is about the money. It's a test of my faith in myself. Like, can I be confident in myself and my abilities and what I'm able to do, and really believe it? Like, that's why it took me a while to really get my business what it's about to the point that it is right now. Because before, it was like ego based. I was thinking like, oh, what can I do to be like a luxury brand, or position myself to look like this, and I wanted to sound like this. But it was like, how am I gonna keep it up if what I'm selling isn't me? Like, one day I'm gonna run out of stuff, and I'm always gonna be looking at like, what are other people doing? Like, I need to keep up and do this. And I was just like, that's not working. So I really had to get real and just be like, this business is a reflection of who I am, which will then, if I know who I am, it'll make it easier to put it out there. Like, it's effortless. Like, I'm always going to have something to put out there, something to give. And with that, in return, people, fuck with what I do and they buy from me. And hopefully that's the exchange. But manifesting is real. The faith is real, but you just have to continue. Not only like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then like don't do anything afterwards. Like, all of the videos, you're gonna hear the same thing. It sounds cliche, but you have to take action. And any resistance that you feel to what you're doing, you really gotta just let it go. That's another part of letting it go. It was like, okay, get rid of the negative thoughts and just let it go. Be with it. And I posted something the other day. It's like, forgot where I read it from. Maybe it was like Seth Godin, is his name. He said something about getting more knowledge to reduce the fear, something along those lines. But it's basically like you're afraid because you don't know. So if you find out, you can be less afraid. And I think that's very important because it really is that simple. It's like you're afraid because you don't know. And how else are you going to know? So you can either look it up, you can ask somebody, and don't be afraid to kind of ask questions. You don't know. How are you going to know? And if somebody doesn't want to share it with you, if somebody doesn't respond back to you, that was the thing. Like, I reached out to somebody recently and I was really excited, and I was just like, oh, there's a woman, you know, of color doing what it is that I would like to do. I sent her an email. I didn't hear anything back, but it was going to be something that I was looking for my business. But I can't let her not responding stop me from like, oh man, I hit a dead end. Like, now I can't even make stuff happen. Like, no, there's other ways, and that just means that that's not the way that I'm supposed to be going. There's always a way to make what you want to happen, but you got to be patient. And don't be in it for the short term. Like, the money is the short term. When they do say purpose, like, I think I finally found my purpose. And what is that exactly? My purpose, I haven't found all the words to describe it, but I will say that it's got to do with helping the world to build an emotional intelligence, so that we are more aware. The more aware you are of your emotions, what that means for you, how you're feeling in the moment, if you're conscious of it, it's going to affect the way that you operate with other people. And there's so much bad that happens because you have to be unconscious. Like, you just have to. If you were conscious, you wouldn't make those type of choices. Or if you did do something that might be wrong, I don't know, you just wouldn't approach it from that way. Maybe I should say not wrong. Maybe if you did something illegal, and that's, who's to tell any of us what's legal and what's not. But say you were to do that, you would do it in a more ethical way, I guess. Yeah. Friendships, this is interesting. So I'm not really a person that's involved in much drama. It's just not a part of my life because I don't talk that much to be in that much drama. So I'm currently learning a lesson in friendship, and a long friend of mine since grade school kind of did something that's a little bit shady, and being that I don't normally have to deal with this type of conflict, I don't know how to resolve it. So instead of like acting out of ego and being all like da 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 da, why'd you do this, that, and the other, I trying to stay calm and approach it, but it's kind of like I haven't said anything, so I don't know how to be fake, and I don't want to be ha-ha and kikiing for too long before I say something about it. And so I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to be learning from this. Do I just let the friendship go and don't say anything because they said that our friendship wasn't, anymore? They didn't tell me that, but, that's what they claimed. And so do I take that and be like, well, that's what you said, and kind of just let it go? Or do I actually try to fix it? I don't know. I mean, me and this person were tight. And, you get grown. People do their own things. You don't have as much time to be around people. But I've never been the type with my friends where we had to talk to each other every day. Like, that's just not what we do. I don't talk on the phone with my friends all the time. Like, when we see each other, we pick right back off. What you doing? What you been up to? We go do whatever. Like, that's just not how we are. So it's throwing me for a loop. I'm not used to it. And being the fact that we've known each other for so long, I don't know, man. This is difficult for me. So I'll let it play out, and I'm trying not to be ego based about it. Like, that's what I try to avoid in any situation, is to just not act out of ego. I guess I sit with it a little bit longer before I make any harsh decisions. But y'all let me know, like, how do you talk to your friends when there's an issue? Do you bring it up right away? And I'm also a person who likes to do things in person, so I'm not gonna talk about anything over the phone. Like, I want to see you and feel where you're coming from. I'm a big energy person, and I can't get energy through the phone. It's gonna be misinterpreted. And I also don't like being cut off and ignored, so that's probably why. Like, you can ignore me in person if you want to, but you can't just like stop responding. And I want to know why. I'm always the type, like, I want to know why. I just want to know. Either I can let it all the way go, or I want to know why. So I keep saying that I'm on a self-awareness journey. That's pretty much the easiest way to describe it. So with that being said, I do a lot of self-reflecting, and something that's coming up for me a lot right now that I'm recognizing, that maybe I self-sabotage sometimes. Maybe that might be one of my negative traits. It's like I'm not trying to do it, but it's just like I'm not remaining as hopeful, and I kind of get a little scared and hesitant about, like, did I make the right choice or not? And so I'll question things, try to make it perfect, and then it's kind of like you can't be that in control. Damn. I'm sorry, something's hitting me right now. Like, maybe shit, that's another part of the letting go lesson. It's like you can't be in that much control, and I'm learning. I don't know. I'm currently in a relationship, and that's what I'm talking about right now. I feel like I let some of the negative things from past relationships kind of creep up into my current one without trying to. And so with that, I'm not as open as I should be, or as I would be. I don't know. I guess if I were single, like, I don't know. Yeah, because with being single, you have more freedom. You're not checking in with somebody, but with that being around somebody, it's kind of just like, it's different for me. Um, shit, it's been 3 years and I'm still not used to it, and I think that's what I'm afraid of. It's my first long-term relationship. Hell, it's my first relationship over a year, and so I still have a lot of anxiety over that. It's a lot to it. I don't think I'm gonna go that deep into my relationship talks, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I gotta stop self-sabotaging before I end up, losing a good thing, or losing myself, or, that's not what I'm trying to do. And so being self-aware, I have to catch myself when I am doing something, like, okay, does this really need to be communicated right now? Is this even an issue, really? Or do you just want to say something just to be trying to make everything perfect? And questions that you got to ask yourself: am I doing this just on my time right now? Am I concerned about, the other person right now? Is everything that I'm trying to fix just for me and for me to be comfortable? That's a big thing I'm trying to push, is just for, like, people to, like, really start asking themselves the questions, and, like, taking the time to get quiet to answer them. That's how you fix the problems. Like, get still. Ask yourself what it is that, in that moment, what do you feel? Name it. So if I'm sad, I'm like, I'm sad. What are you sad about? Go into detail, like, write it down, talk to yourself about that. What are you sad about? What can you do in this moment to fix it? Are the things you're sad about, are they actually real? Are they your feelings? Are they attached to somebody else? Really sit down and get like the deep inside, like past the inner voice in your head, past the thinking voice. Like, you got to get down to your soul, to your spirit. Like, there's no other way to kind of like level up and grow until you really start getting real close with you. It's just impossible. All the ego, surface level things, forget it. Like, that's only gonna get you but so far, and then you'll be trying to figure out why you're not happy later. So I'm really at a point where I'm just kind of embracing all of the lessons. Like, nothing is bad, everything is good or a lesson. So with that being said, the mission continues. I want to share before I put this video out there about manifesting and letting go that I learned. It was like, okay, so the other weekend, I don't know, out of nowhere, well, not out of nowhere, I had a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of stuff to pay for that I already need to pay for, and a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do. And so I had a panic attack out of nowhere about money. And so, trying to be better, I hit up my partner. I was like, hey, I don't really know what's going on with me, but I'm feeling the type of way right now. I just want to give you a heads up so I don't come off like what's wrong with you and you don't know. So I gave a heads up, I'm like, it's probably about money, So then they're like, okay, well, boom, here's something for this, don't worry about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. That takes a little bit of pressure off my back. Then they gave me some words of encouragement. So, it was like, okay, let that go. You already know what you need to do. So, boom, a couple days later in the week, I'm throwing a little extra from my dad. Then, boom, a couple days later, I get hit up like, hey, can you do my makeup this weekend? All right, great. I already know I'm about to get some money for that. And then here comes payday rolling around. Boom, extra money on my check. So thankful. Then here comes the next day when I'm booked to do her makeup. Right after I finish getting in the car, boom, somebody makes a sale or purchases something on my website. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on? I'm just like, so thankful. And then as, I'm trying to look through the thing, I get a phone call from one of my friends, and here she is on the phone. Hey, can you do my makeup tomorrow? I'm just like, I just had to tell her, I'm just like, just thank you. Like, just less than 7 days ago, I was over here starting to bug out about money. Like, and it was crazy because in the middle of the week, I forgot what I was looking at. I think I was probably scrolling on Twitter, and somebody made a post about something, and I don't know, it was talking about abundance. And so then I was just like, it resonated with me. I was like, yes. And then I was like, abundance is near. I don't know what it was. I don't know which part of it that it was. I don't know if it was speaking it out loud. I don't know if it was the whole letting go thing. But abundance really was near, and it came through in such a big way. And it's like, you just gotta be, I don't know, you gotta let go. And gratitude, man, gratitude is big. Tell people what it is that's going on. You probably can lessen your load if you just say something about it. Like, people can't help you if you don't say something. The world can't help you if you don't, like, let go, and you're not there to receive whatever it is that you need. So yeah, it's just more momentum, more fuel to the fire for me to just, stay in the position that I'm in. Hopefully it encourages others to be like, it's not impossible. It happens. It's not, I used to think like those things happened out of luck, but when I think about it, it's just like, no, I was intentionally doing things at those times that gave me those things, and I never knew what it was. I was just like, I just got lucky that time. Like, things always happen for me like that. It's like, no, when you put yourself out there, I think even with the makeup, like, it was funny, like, I don't really post that much on my page that I'm still doing makeup. So then before that, I had made a post. So it's like, no, when you make a post, people see you. When you tell people you got something going on, people can help you. when you tell people that you're doing something, they know. It's like you had to put it out there. You gotta put it out there. Damn. I just let messages come to me like that, because even when you're talking, you'll realize, like, you know all of this stuff already, and that's why they keep telling you everything is already inside of you. You just gotta listen to yourself, talk to yourself, get to know yourself.